Bitcoin is inches away from all-time highs. Will we break through today? Sui and Chainlink surge, but big trouble could be coming for Celestia today. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. All right, good morning, guys. What a bullish day we had yesterday, and really the past couple of days. We've tested almost all-time highs. We came just under it, at least on the Binance chart. We came up into about, looks like 73,000, about 600, just a couple $100 short. Obviously, there was a lot of people who were selling at the highs, so it's a big area of resistance, and we're holding in there strong. I mean, we're coming down a little bit today, but that's to be expected. There was a lot of selling pressure. And it is the high, so it takes a lot to break out of that area. So I expect in the next day or so, we probably consolidate around this area before we try and take the highs again. So will we break all-time highs today? Probably not. We probably need a little bit of a cool off. So a day or so, we just kind of go sideways, and then maybe we try again at the tops. Who knows? But I think the past couple of days we've had huge volume and huge surge. So I think we probably just need a little bit to cool off. But starting off today, the United States doesn't need it to collapse for Bitcoin to reach 200K, or the US dollar, or the United States. Same thing. So the growing investment in store of value assets and continued fiat currency devaluation could propel the Bitcoin price to six figures without the need for the US dollar to collapse, according to ByDFI Chief Investment Officer Matt Hogan. So in an October 29th post, he said he addressed a question he received from financial advisor asking whether Bitcoin could reach 200K without the US currency collapse. And he said, when you invest in Bitcoin, you're actually making two bets at once, that Bitcoin will succeed in establishing itself as a new store of value asset. And while governments will continue to abuse fiat currencies, something that will naturally result in an increased demand for hard assets like Bitcoin. Now, Hogan also said that while the two arguments addressed the original question, they were separate points that with potential price outcomes. Bitcoin's total current market cap is $1.4 trillion, currently around 70% of gold's $18 trillion market cap. But Hogan said that Bitcoin can mature and become worth about half of gold's total value, making Bitcoin worth roughly $400,000. And he added that because governments are currently abusing their control over supply of fiat currencies through money printing, more investors will be inclined to own store of value assets. And if Bitcoin holds just 7% share relative to gold, and demand for Bitcoin alone triples, each Bitcoin would be worth $200,000. So totally possible without the US dollar completely collapsing. And importantly, these arguments compound. If Bitcoin matures and the store of value market doubles, you quickly get to seven figures. And he says, I think this is the most likely scenario eventually. So pretty amazing. I mean, we all think Bitcoin will go to $1 million, or at least I do. Yeah, not this cycle or maybe even next, but at some point it will be. So all in all, the dollar doesn't have to collapse completely for Bitcoin to go to 200K. It should get there naturally. Then we have Sui is up over 10%, and analysts eye $6 if this happened. So Sui has continuous recovery towards its all-time high. It was up over 10% in the past 24 hours. Now Sui rebounded after remaining in a downtrend for 4 days as its price rose from $1.62 to $2.08, bringing its market cap to $5.7 million. Although I don't think this is, the actual reason. Mainly driving its recent rally was the excitement around the launch of the Major League Soccer themed NFT collectibles platform called MLS Quest on a Sui partnership with crypto startup Suite. The platform allows MLS fans to collect digital medallions based on highlights from World League matches and in rewards. At the same time, net inflows into Sui surged following the MLS partnership, reaching the highest among all chains on October 29th. Now, while I do believe that did help it, I don't think that was the main reason. I think it was actually a short squeeze, like we've seen before on Ohm, where we've had this continued downtrend for days, and then just, we took out all these stops here, and then we squeezed back up, and now we've come back into a level of resistance, which I expect us to then, probably come down from in the next couple of days. So I could see two scenarios happening where we come down, we make a bit of a higher low, and we continue back up, and then we break above here, and then we consolidate above this level at 215. If we did that, then I could see us going to new highs. However, I think the most likely scenario is that this is actually, break of market structure, and we actually head back down here around $1.45, which is my original level that I had marked out. And I think we continue this, and this ends up becoming a lower high and we head back down here, we consolidate for a little and then head back up. I think that's the most likely scenario. And I think this, huge squeeze here was probably just a short squeeze, and it wasn't really a rally. What would change my mind is that if we were able to then just, somehow break above here and then do that, then I'd be like, okay, it's not necessarily just a short squeeze, but, continued volume is coming in and we have, sustained buying. So I'd like to see either of those scenarios play out, but I think the more likely scenario is that we've broken up into resistance here and now we're going to continue down for a little bit. Moving on, we have Celestia, who is in trouble today. Celestia braces for price volatility amid over $900 million token unlock, probably one of the biggest unlocks. So the native cryptocurrency of data availability blockchain Celestia braces for volatility due to its massive supply event unlock on October 30th today, which will nearly double the number of tokens in circulation. So 175 million of previously locked up TIA tokens, or 80% of the current supply, will be released on Wednesday. It's the largest single unlock event since the token was launched last October. And that's $920 million worth of tokens with prices slightly above $5. So we actually have the data over here. Currently, it's worth around $872 million as the prices have gone down. But you can see we have a huge unlock in less than 2 hours now. So probably by the time this is out, the unlock will be happening. So we have 175 million tokens, 80% of the supply being unlocked today. That is massive. And the token being down 80% already, with 80% of the supply coming out, isn't ideal. Now, we go down here and Will Clemente has actually, shared the opposite side where he's actually long because he believes this is bullish. So Will Clemente wrote, I think this Bitcoin price action has further slid the probability of Thursday's T unlock to be being bearish towards no. 6 months of reaccumulation after 80% drawdown, tons of OTC volume, most widely telegraphed unlock in crypto history, 9 figures short, Bitcoin nearing all-time highs, am long right now. And so he posted this one. TIA was at $5.19, and it's currently at $4.94. So I don't quite agree with that. I think we've broken under here. You can see this is the daily chart too. We've had an underside retest here. And I think we're definitely heading back down towards $3.80. This doesn't look super bullish to me right now. And if we go to a higher time frame, this doesn't look amazing. We've had lower highs here. And while we've had higher lows, this candle today is probably going to break down through here and invalidate that. So it's not looking amazing for TIA right now. And while there is a lot of shorts piling up on this, maybe we do get a bit of a short squeeze. That's just a lot of investor demand coming out right now, and maybe the OTC deals can counter some of that selling, but there just has to also be demand for TIA, which I don't know if there is currently. We were down, for over 80% right now. And so I feel like it needs a little bit more accumulation or a little more time to accumulate, probably towards $3.70 at this low. We'll see. I wouldn't be longing right now, but that's just me. If we came back down here to this level and then we started to see higher lows form, if we were like this, we came down here and then we then saw higher lows, I'd maybe take a long somewhere around here. But we have to see when that happens. For right now, TIA is not a long for me, unless we're able to then break above this level and then maybe hold. But I'd really want to see us break above these levels here and hold this. That'd be a lot more enticing. I'd prefer to do along above these levels because then we actually have some strength. So something like that, So we'll have to wait and see. Celestia right now, huge unlock. This isn't where you want to be max longing if I were you. Then moving on, we have Link's price surges 5% as Chainlink partners with HBAR Foundation on Hedera. So Chainlink has experienced a notable price surge, driven largely by new collaboration with HBAR Foundation on the Hedera blockchain, and the integration of Chainlink's data interoperability services through Chainlink's Scale will expand access for developers and provide Hedera-based decentralized apps with essential resources. So the HBAR Foundation has joined the Chainlink Scale program, adding Chainlink data feeds and cross-chain interoperability protocol, or CCIP, to the Hedera testnet. And by integrating Link Network's reliable data and cross-chain capabilities, Hedera developers gain tools to create DeFi applications, and more so, Chainlink Scale empowers Hedera's ecosystem with Chainlink's Oracle solutions. So Chainlink has surged a bit on this news. I mean, a little bit. It is looking pretty good. I mean, I would want to see it come back above 13-ish before I get long and get excited about this. We've broken underneath this, this major level here. So we had, the entire bear market. This is accumulation. Then we had that breakout. Then we had kind of an uninspiring rally, really, when everything else was pumping. Other things pumped so much more than Chainlink. Then we broke back down. Now we're starting to have a little bit, higher lows, although it is choppy. Um, I'd really want to see us break above this level before we do any major longing right now on Link. But if we do come back down and take out all these lows, if we did something like this where we broke down through here, whoops, we broke down through all these lows, took the stops, and then came back up, that's another long I would potentially take. But Chainlink otherwise is looking pretty good right now. I will just say it's probably something that you want to wait a little bit on before we take any trades. But it is good for spot accumulation if you like Chainlink. I just think it hasn't been the best performer so far this cycle. But yeah, moving on, we have Mantra partners with Google Cloud following successful mainnet launch. So Mantra, which has been in the news a ton this month, has announced official partnership with Google Cloud as the Layer 1 network will use Google as a primary validator for its mainnet. Everyone is using Google Cloud these days. Now, Mantra's announcement, the partnership will extend Google's recent launch Cloud Web3 portal, and Mantra will create a testnet with the portal to allow developers to work on the Layer 1 ecosystem and receive free OHM tokens. So in addition to the Google Cloud partnership, Mantra is also collaborating with BCW Group and as its implementation partner. And BCW Group is one of the leading Web3 infrastructure solution providers for the Google Cloud ecosystem. Now that the mainnet launch was last week, and following the launch, the network can now bring tokenized world assets on-chain while allowing users to stake OHM tokens and earn rewards. And so the mainnet launch also shifts OHM's token from the Ethereum's ERC20 to the Mantra chain. And despite these, the OHM token is underperforming as the token has lost nearly 5%. We talk about this. It's sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. And so Mantra, while it was, extremely hyped a week before it started to sell off, and now we have a lot of stops that could potentially be taken here. We saw the short squeeze the other day that came up, and now we're starting to make even a little bit of a higher or lower high as well. So maybe another short squeeze here as everyone is trying to pile into shorts after the free airdrop. We have $75 million of OHM tokens being airdropped as well. So there's a lot of selling pressure as this thing has gone up like crazy. And I still think we see this play out at some point where we come down here, maybe spike above, come down, and eventually we retest this $1.03 range. Maybe in the next week or so, if Bitcoin dumps with this election going on, if we have some increased volatility, which I think we will have next week, if we see $3,000 candle down, I think we could see alts get destroyed for a bit, and maybe this is where it eventually reaches this target. So, yep, still a little bit bearish on OHM right now, especially with the airdrop tokens and these wicks being lower and lower each time. Not looking amazing for me, but if we can get back above, this level and hold something like, if we could hold above this level for a day or so, or a couple of days and consolidate, then I'd be more bullish. But until then, really not very bullish yet. So yeah, that is it for the day. We're looking at a couple of days of consolidation on Bitcoin right now before a new all-time high. That's my my guess right now. We've had 4 straight up candles we've had 4 daily candles up. So we have been very bullish the last few days. Going into this election, I think there's going to be a lot of trickery, a lot of wicks up and down to get everyone out of positions before we ultimately head to all-time highs in the next couple weeks or so. So overall, looking high time, very bullish and very excited to see what happens in November. But yeah, for right now, we're going to consolidate a little bit and get our bearings and be ready for November. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.